Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today's video, as you see from the title, is just going to be a chatty question and answer style video. I know you guys submitted a lot of questions to me regarding my decision just to go back to the classroom, why I made that decision and how it's going and my plans for the future, all of that. So I decided, instead of doing it on Instagram like I was planning to, that I would just have you guys submit your questions to me and I would just answer them in a YouTube video. So this will just be a quick, chatty, casual style video. I'm just gonna sit and answer your questions. I saved all of them to my camera roll. If you guys have any more questions, you can always DM me over on Instagram. I'll have my handle right here. I'm active on there every day, and I'm always replying to your guys' DMs over there. So if you do have any questions that I don't answer today, feel free to comment them down below or just message me over on Instagram. As you guys probably noticed, my office is looking a little bit different than the last time you guys saw it, and that is all due to this beautiful new addition to my office, which is this Fezibo desk. And I did want to thank Fezibo for partnering with me on today's video. They were so lovely to send me this beautiful standing desk. It is the desk of my dreams. You guys know I loved the last standing desk that I had, but I was really in the market for an upgraded version. I needed one that was a little bit bigger, had a little bit more space, and this one from Fezibo just caught my eye because, one, it stands a little bit taller than my last one, and I'm a tall girl if you didn't know. I'm over 5'7", so the last one just wasn't quite high enough for me. I love standing whenever I'm editing videos. It's so nice for me just to be able to stretch my legs, and I just don't like sitting for that long of a time period, but I also just love the aesthetic of it. I feel like this desk just fits so perfectly in my office with the white, and then I love these really aesthetic drawers. I feel like overall this desk just has a lot more storage and a lot more space, which is what I was really wanting. This is the Fezibo triple motor reversible L-shaped standing desk V2. I know that's a mouthful. I will have this exact desk linked down below so you guys can shop it, and Fezibo is having really great Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. I also have a promo code for you guys. If you guys are in the market for a brand new desk, I'm telling you, this is such good quality. I did have a little bit of help from Kyle. He helped me build it. I am not the handiest person. I love new things. I love buying new furniture, but Kyle hates it because he's the one who has to put it together for me. So love him. He helped me put this desk together, but it really didn't take long at all. I was worried because the box was pretty big that it would take a long time. He said that it was pretty simple to put together. He put it together in just a couple hours and he really liked it as well. He was really impressed just with the quality of it. It's very heavy duty, so we know that it'll last us a really long time. It's perfect for me and for him whenever he studies. Right now he's away for a board exam, so the last couple weeks he's been spending studying in my office, and he said he really liked the desk and just how much space it offers. So it can be left-sided or right-sided, allowing for even more flexibility depending on your office shape. It's actually a upgraded version of the desk, so it's a little bit longer and a little bit wider, which I love. It's perfect for me. I actually moved it over a little bit in my office. My last desk was a bit smaller, so I put it in the middle of my office, but Kyle and I decided that since it is an L-shaped desk, it looked best over kind of in the corner, and that gives me a lot more room on the other side of my office just to get ready, film videos, whatever I want to do over there. It's really nice just to have that extra space. But yeah, this desk is just such an upgrade. And if you guys don't like the white, or if you just have a different aesthetic in your home or office, they do have different colors. The desktop comes in 7 different colors and the frame comes in 3 different colors. So I will have the Fezibo website linked down below. They have so many desks. I had a really hard time, honestly, picking out which one I wanted because they're all so amazing. But if you guys do want to check out their website, I'll have it linked down below, as well as the direct link to this L-shaped desk. It is so nice. I love that it can be standing or sitting, or just you can adjust the height based on what you need. Yeah, thank you to Fezibo again for sponsoring this portion of today's video, and don't forget to check them out with the links down below. Okay, we are just going to dive right on in. I want to make sure that I can film this before the sun goes down. I forgot because we fell back an hour last week that the sun, I swear, it gets dark by like 5 o'clock and it's going on 4:30 right now. So I want to make sure that I have enough time to answer these questions for you guys while I still have light in this room. Okay, in no particular order, I'm just going to be reading off your guys' questions. Again, this is all about why I'm returning to the classroom and my plans for it. And if you're confused and you're like, wait, what? You're going back to the classroom? Go watch my last couple of videos. I vlogged the announcement of kind of like why I was returning to the classroom along with my first day back in the classroom. Last week, I had my first day in the classroom. It was in a second grade classroom, and it was the craziest experience being back in a classroom after 6 months away. So I vlogged that entire day for you. If you guys do want to go check those videos out, I'll have those linked down below, or just watch them after this video. But yeah, let's get on into it. What do you look forward to the most about returning to work? I'm looking forward to a lot of different things about returning to work. The biggest thing for me, I'm really excited to just be back into a routine, have more structure. And I talked about that in my first video a little bit about how I just was getting that itch to do something more with my time. And I just realized, I feel like you don't know it until you take the time off. I'm the type of person, I love having a job. I love having somewhere to be during the day, somewhere to go, and a purpose. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to, just going back and just having more structure and routine and having somewhere to be during the day. Obviously, I'm really excited to go back just to the classroom in general for different reasons. I'm really excited to be back with kids all day and just the energy that you feel whenever you're in a school. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Did you enjoy your break, in quotes, off? I wouldn't say this was a break. It was a break from teaching, but it's not like I was like on summer break laying by the pool for the last 6 months. I have social media as kind of like my side hustle for the last couple years, and I turned it into my full-time job over the last 6 months, which required a lot more work than I ever intended. I swear I was working more hours than I ever did when I was teaching. I also think whenever you work from home or you have a business where you're self-employed, you're often thinking about the work more often than you would if you worked a 9 to 5. For example, I didn't have set hours, so I was thinking about work at 6 o'clock at night, at 9 o'clock at night. I'd be editing videos or planning or whatever, or filming. And so Kyle was always like, do you want to take a break? Like, come eat dinner? And I'd have to kind of turn off that work mode. Whereas I feel like when you work a 9 to 5, it's easier to come home at the end of the day, turn off work mode because you're not there. Whereas this is my place of work, so it was always kind of hard to turn that off. But I got sidetracked. To answer your question, yes, I really did enjoy the break from the classroom. I know I'm going to look back and really miss my slow, easy mornings, my flexible schedule. So there's definitely positives to working from home. But I know there's positives to being back in the classroom too that I'm really excited for. What made you want to go back into teaching again? So many of you guys have made me feel less alone in this decision. I've actually received so many DMs and comments on my last couple of videos about you guys being in the same exact position as me. Like, literally, you taught your first year in 2020, your second year in 2021, you took a break, and now you're subbing, getting ready to go back into the classroom next year. So many of you shared that exact story with me, and I think it's because we can all relate on the fact that getting into teaching in 2020 in the midst of a pandemic where we online taught for our first year, and then our second year still wasn't quite normal, that all just added to the pressures that being a teacher already has. And so I think it just burnt us out so much faster. What made me want to go back into teaching is to give it another chance, because I only taught for 2.5 years. I did have that classroom from January to May, right after I graduated. But I just felt like I never really had a good experience in the classroom, whether that be because it was during the pandemic, whether that be because of the school environment I was in. I didn't know. So I wanted to figure it out for myself and give myself another chance to get back into the classroom to see if it could be better than what it was. What grade do you want to teach, and what grades are you licensed to teach? So I currently have my elementary education degree, so I'm certified to teach grades 1st through 6th grade. I'm very open to grades. Right now I'm subbing all grades, like pre-K all the way up to 8th and 9th grade. I'm subbing 8th grade on Friday, which I'm vlogging for you guys, and I'm very nervous about it. I've never taught that old of kids. But yeah, so right now I'm keeping a very open mind. I really want to sub because I want to experience not only the schools, but I also want to experience different grade levels. Subbing is a great way to get into classrooms and experience not only different school environments, but also experience those different grade levels and the different types of students. So yeah, I'm excited to experience it all. Right now, my sweet spot would probably be 3rd through 5th grade, but I'm open to teaching older, like 6th grade, potentially as well. Did you realize that social media isn't a stable job and that's why you're going back? Yes and no. This is kind of a tricky one to answer because yes, in a sense, I didn't feel stable. I didn't feel like social media was a very stable job for me personally, and that's why I craved more stability and more structure in my life, and that's why I wanted to go back to a more structured job or career path. But I wouldn't say that social media in general isn't a stable job. I was perfectly stable doing social media full-time for the last 6 months. Financially, I was stable from it. So if that's kind of what you're implying, I don't think it was necessarily the money aspect that has me running back to teaching. You guys know it's not like we teach for the money, we don't teach for the fame. It is purely just because you enjoy it. But I do feel very lucky that I was able to have something to fall back on. I know a lot of teachers would love to take a break from the classroom, but obviously they can't just up and quit their day job. And so I do feel very, very lucky that I had something to fall back on, something else that I could do with my time, another stream of income to rely on. But no, doing social media or being self-employed in general is not the most stable job. Every month differed, every day was different, every week was different. So yeah, in a sense, I was craving more stability. What will be your classroom theme? I don't know. I feel like I haven't even thought about that until I just read it. I think that all just depends on the grade level you're in, what type of school environment you're in as well. Some classrooms that I've been touring have co-teachers, so if it's like a veteran teacher that's been in there, I don't know if I can come in and just bring all my stuff in and redecorate the entire classroom how I want it. So yeah, that just depends on a lot of different things. I do still have all of my classroom stuff, which is another question someone asked. We kept 80% of my classroom stuff. I sold a few things that I just didn't want to bring with me because they're too big, like furniture wise, but I did keep a majority of my classroom stuff, and I'm glad I did. I just had a gut feeling. I'm like, Madison, do not go selling all this stuff, because if you did go back and I wasn't 100% sure if I would or wouldn't, I would so regret it. So I told myself I was going to keep it down there for at least a year. And I'm glad I did, because now I know if I do get my own classroom again that I have that all downstairs that I'm sure Kyle will be happy to get rid of so I can bring it to my maybe future classroom. How long did this take for you to make the decision to go back to teaching? I don't think this was an overnight thing. I feel like a lot of you guys were like, oh, did you just think about this last week and that's why you started touring schools? No, it's been on my mind since the first day I started working from home, but I truly believe that whatever is meant for you will be. So I was just going with the flow, riding the waves, and I knew if I was gonna go back to the classroom, I would. And yeah, ultimately over the last just couple months or so, I just started looking into schools around me. I wasn't like diving in, applying at jobs or anything, but I just started researching the schools around me. I think that was my first step. And I think in the midst of doing all that research, it got me really excited just looking at how amazing some of the schools are around me and how I just never got to experience some schools like that. And that's kind of what gave me the push to start applying. And I just started applying for substitute positions because I just wanted to get in the schools, meet people, see the schools, and experience different grade levels, like I said. So yeah, just easing my way in right now. How are you planning to get back into teaching, and how are you going to get back into the groove / refresh your memory? That's a great question, because that was something I was so nervous about my first day going back into the classroom, because I was like, I feel like I forgot how to teach. I really did. I feel like having this much time off, I did feel a little rusty going into the classroom, but what's really great is that my first day back in the classroom, I had a co-teacher, so just being able to observe him and almost like shadow another teacher was a really nice way to also ease my way in. But I also know those teacher instincts in me are all like rooted in me, and it'll come right back to me once I start getting more experience and getting used to being in the classroom. But yeah, I think it's definitely gonna take a little bit of time, but eventually I'll get back in the groove of it. Are you trying to get a mid-year position, or are you looking to start teaching next school year? I really don't know. Like I said, I'm just going with the flow. Right now, I'm subbing, and I'm subbing a lot. Like, I've toured a lot of different schools, and I've already started subbing at multiple. So yeah, I think we'll just see what happens. I'm not opposed to taking over a position mid-year, but I will say I've done that once before and it wasn't the greatest experience. So in my eyes, I would more like to wait for a full-time position to open up next fall. But of course, we'll just wait and see. And that's kind of why I'm taking you guys along with me through all of this, because I'm just going with the flow and we'll see what happens. How will you balance your mental health habits that you've learned and teaching? Yeah, I think this is huge, and I think me taking that time away from teaching has helped my mental health so much, and it's also given me the clarity and like allowed me to reflect on my time in the classroom and why my mental health wasn't the greatest. And so I really want to apply a lot of those healthy habits that I formed while working from home and still keep them while I may be potentially working full-time, or just right now while I am easing my way back into working. I know teaching is a hard job. It's mentally and physically draining, and I don't want to get back into that rabbit hole of just being mentally drained all the time. I want to make sure that I'm keeping that balance. So that's just gonna be a journey. I'm gonna take you guys along with me, but I have learned so much from being in the classroom over the last couple years and how to kind of set those boundaries and put yourself first, put your mental health first. And I've also learned a lot since working from home. So stay tuned. I'll take you guys along with me through all of that as well. As you continue your education and get a master's degree. Fun fact, I actually started my master's degree whenever I was in my senior year of college. They allowed you to do like a dual enrollment program where I started my master's degree, and I got just a few credit hours. I think I took 2 or 3 classes, and I intended on getting my master's degree. However, once I started teaching, I just realized I didn't want it. I didn't need it. I didn't feel like I needed to go to school for another 2 years, spend all X amount of money on another degree just to do exactly what I was doing. That just didn't sit well with me. So no, I never pursued getting a master's degree. I don't intend on pursuing my master's degree either. I don't feel like I need one to be a good teacher. Not saying that the teachers who get their master's degree haven't learned a lot, and I'm sure they're better teachers for it. But yeah, I just never felt like it was for me. What are the pros and cons of social media, doing social media full time, and being self-employed? There's a lot of pros and cons to it, and I can make a whole other video about this topic. But the positives, I would say, doing social media full time was that my schedule was so flexible. I had so much time for myself and things that I wanted to do, whereas we all know teaching, when you're working a 9 to 5, you get home at night and you're just so tired. You don't have a lot of time for things that you want to do. So I will say that flexibility is something I'll miss. Also, just being able to sleep more. If you know me in person, you know I love my sleep and I hate waking up early. I swear, working from home, that was probably the best thing about it, was because I didn't have to wake up at the crack of dawn. I could sleep in until 7 or 8, take my time waking up, and I could form a morning routine that I loved and started me out on a good note. So that is definitely one thing I'll miss, are those slower days, the more flexible days. Also, just doing social media full time, it was such a creative job, so I really enjoyed getting to put all of my energy and focus into social media. As you guys know, I'm very dedicated. I put up YouTube videos twice a week, no matter what, whether I'm working full time or not. But this just gave me so much more time to dedicate to the craft of filming and editing and all things that is YouTube, Instagram, social media, working with brands, becoming more of an expert in the background of working with different brands and all of that. I also built my knowledge a lot about the business side of social media, and I really enjoyed that as well. So that's why I still do want to keep another healthy balance between teaching and social media, just because I truly do love both and want to continue to do both. And I love interacting with you guys and bringing you guys along with me through all of this. It's so fun for me. I truly would not do YouTube or be on social media if I didn't genuinely enjoy it and love it. Yeah, there's pros and cons to everything, and that is one of the biggest lessons I've learned over the last 6 months, and I think that has given me such a more positive outlook on going back to teaching. I get to teach, I don't have to teach. So I feel like going in with that mentality, like I get to be a teacher, I get to come to a school every day and be with children and help them learn, that outlook for me has changed everything. Just like when I was doing social media full time, I didn't have to do it full time. I chose to do it. I got to do it every single day, and that just felt like such a blessing also. How did you feel whenever you left the classroom? To be honest, when I left the classroom back in May, there was definitely mixed feelings, but I felt a lot of relief. I was so excited to take a break from the classroom, and if you're a fellow teacher, I know that you can relate. You know exactly how I'm feeling, especially at the end of a school year, especially at the end of 2 years of teaching in a pandemic. I was very burnt out and I just wanted a break. I just wanted some time to figure out me, what I wanted to do. Yeah, it was definitely sad. It was bittersweet, but I felt a lot of relief taking that break, and looking back, I don't feel bad about that because it's just something that I needed. How do you plan to stay out of burnout in the future, and how are you planning to set boundaries? This is a really good question, and I do want to highlight more of this on my channel as I do go back into the classroom, because obviously hearing so many of your guys' stories about you also feeling so much burnout within your first or second year of teaching, there's just got to be a change. I do want to advocate for that on my channel. I'm never going to advocate for being the teacher that's first to the school, the last to leave, doing the most, because truly the job already is so hard and so taxing that you're only making it harder on yourself if you're doing those things. So I am pro set boundaries, leave whenever your contract hours are up. Obviously, I go to school early sometimes if I need to, or if I want to. I truly save all that extra stuff for when I want to do it. If I do want to plan outside of my plan time, if I do want to go into school early, or if I do want to stay late, I make sure that it's something that I want to do. I'm not feeling like it's something that I have to do. And so for me, that was all just about prioritizing what needs to get done throughout the week, which I know can be really, really hard as a first year teacher when you have so much on your plate and you're just trying to make it through each day. So just give yourself grace. If you're a new teacher, it's not going to flow perfectly your first year or even your second year. I know it's not going to be for me when I go back either. I'm no pro, but I will say I got really good at setting those boundaries. And when I was home, I was home. I wasn't thinking about school, and I still made sure to enjoy my weekends and not spend my weekends at the school or planning. But yeah, I hope to kind of highlight more of that on my channel as I do go back to the classroom and get reminded of how important it is to set those boundaries. So I'll definitely talk more about that on my channel as I ease my way back into the classroom. What was something you missed the most about not being in a classroom? I really, kind of like I said earlier, I just miss that energy of walking into a school and like having your own classroom and having your own group of kids. Like there's nothing more special than having your own little class family, and kids are just, I don't know, I personally just love being around kids. Like they energize me. And so that is something I miss, just having that feeling of like having your own little class family. And obviously I didn't have a lot of social interaction with working from home, so I did miss just having that social aspect to it too. And I'm really excited to find a school where I feel like I fit in more, and maybe I can make some more teacher friends, and just having that social group outside of home. Do you have any tips for us people wanting to go into subbing? Yeah, so I have not subbed in over 3 years, like been an official substitute teacher since before I started teaching full time. And so for me, this was a whole journey getting back into it. But my biggest piece of advice is just to research the schools like I did, find schools that you think would be a good fit for you, and go experience those schools, meet people, make connections, experience different grade levels. Just put yourself out there. I applied all over. It has been the best last month or so of just being able to tour different schools and meet different people and experience different grade levels. I know it can be scary, especially if you've never been in a classroom or if you're just now getting back into it, but just put yourself out there. Don't be nervous. Just remember, everyone at the school is rooting for you. They're all so happy you're there. We all need more subs. I have never been more praised in my life than being a substitute teacher. Everyone is so grateful that I'm even walking into the school. They're all like, please stay, do not leave, because schools really, really need subs. Yeah, go into it with an open mind, but just enjoy it and take this as a really good experience before potentially having your own classroom. I hope I answered a lot of your guys' questions today. That is all I'm going to answer, but thank you so much if you submitted a question. Like I said, if you do have any more questions for me regarding going back to the classroom, always feel free to comment them down below or message me on Instagram. I love and appreciate you guys so much. I feel so lucky to have such a supportive group of people that have been supporting me from graduating from college, looking for my first job, my first year of teaching in the pandemic, my second year of teaching, transitioning out of the classroom, taking a break. A lot of you guys have been with me through so many different stages of life, and I am just so grateful for all of you. As a huge thank you, I do want to do a little giveaway. I've never done giveaways like this on my YouTube. I do a lot of them on Instagram, but I did want to do a giveaway for you guys. I'm going to choose one winner who comments down below when you started following me, whether that be from Instagram or YouTube, my first year teaching, my second year. Comment down below when you found my channel or my social media pages and why you followed me, and make sure that you're subscribed and following me on Instagram. Those are the only rules, and the winner will receive a $100 Visa gift card from me just for you to spend wherever you would like, just as a thank you for all of your love and support over the years. So that is it. Just comment down below, make sure you are subscribed and following, and I will be choosing a lucky winner at the end of next week. Thank you again for watching. I love and appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.